Here we have an Asus gaming laptop, model number GU501G, and the laptop came here for no power. We already disassembled the board, and the board looks something like this. I did several videos on our channel fixing Asus gaming laptops, and somebody predicted that we're going to be getting a lot of those since we did that video on one of the Asus laptops, and he's correct. Item description: I'm getting no power with my laptop plugged in. I had this on deployment with me as I am in the Navy and just did a 7-month deployment. While I had my laptop plugged in, it just shut off, and I took it apart several times but could not find the issue. I've seen tons of your videos, and I know you have the equipment to find the issue. Hopefully we can help out. Ashlyn, the name of the person. Let's take a look and see what's going on. I mean, where should we start? We have a huge board. That's one huge board. A lot of components on the front and a lot of components on the back. We do not have any board diagrams. No schematics. How do we figure out what's wrong with the board? We're going to take this one step at a time. The first thing I want to do is check the Mosfets that deals with the power connector. That's number one. Let's take a look at the Mosfets. We're going to do measurements in diode mode and see if we have a short. If yes, then we can consider this laptop fixed. Let's see. The important one to test is this one here. And we have a short. We have a short. Ashlyn, your laptop is fixed. As long as we do not have a CPU or GPU issue, your laptop is fixed. We have a short on the MOSFET. We're going to inject 1 volt at the short and see what gets hot on the board. Most likely a capacitor, as you have seen in many of our laptop repairs. Thermal camera to the rescue. Okay. What we're going to do is inject voltage at the shorted area of the MOSFET, and we're going to see what gets hot on the board. Let's go ahead and do it. 1, 2, 3. And what is getting hot on the board? Right here, right over here. That's it. That's enough. That's enough information for us. Thank you very much, voltage injection tool, and thank you very much, thermal camera. And let's take a look at this side of the board and see what's going on. Right there. Right there. Look at this cap. The cap is causing a short. And if we measure it in diode mode, we should read a short on both ends of the cap. Here and here. Just a tiny bit of flux. We're going to remove the cap and replace it. Fume extractor on. And let's do it. I mean, that's one big cap. And let's replace that cap. We're going to grab it with our hot tweezers and solder it right on here. That's it. Job is done. Job is done. Right now, assuming there's nothing else wrong with the laptop should power on, and this should be on its way back to the customer. The customer paid for expedited service. We got the laptop yesterday and we fixed it today. All right, the job is done. I'm gonna give this to Big Boss to reassemble and test, and I'll be back to finish the video. Big Boss said he assembled the board and it did not power on. I told him, are you sure? Check all connections. I went over to him and it did not power on. The board wanna play games. It's all right, we'll play games. The board wanna play games, we'll play games. Meter in continuity mode. What I wanna do is measure to see if our Mosfets are actually good. Are the Mosfets shorting out to each other like drain and source? Are they shorting out? I should have tested this before, but I got too excited. Oh, look at this. Source and drain are shorting out. Shorting out with gate also. And shorting out with gate also. Look at this. Everything is shorting to everything. Gate is shorting out to drain, to source, and source is shorting out with drain. Now we have a big mess on this chip. So at least we got to figure out what's going on. What about the other MOSFET? Do we have a problem here? Let's see if we have the same issue here. And we do not. You see? We do not. What about from here to here? What we're gonna do is replace the first MOSFET and we're gonna test again. With the MOSFET out, let's measure from here to here. Of course, no short. From here to here, and from here to here, no short. And from here to here, we do not have a short now. So this MOSFET was affecting this one. And by replacing this MOSFET, we should be good. Let me grab a MOSFET and I'll be back. We do not need a lot of solder, just a tiny bit. Look at those joints. Beautiful. So let's see. Will that board work now, or is there something else wrong with the board? What's going on here? We still have a short. What? We still have a short. I think I put the original one back. I did not solder the one that I got. That's what happens when I do YouTube videos for you. I end up doing twice the work. So let's solder the good one. And let's see, do we have a short now? And we do not have a short. The motherboard should work now. I do not want to hear Big Boss tell me that the board is still not working. I'll be back. It's a no-go. Still no power. I cannot believe that we still do not have power. We're gonna have to inspect and see what's going on and why we still do not have any power. Let's plug it in. And you know what, before, just a second. Right now, the first thing I want to do is test to see if the charger is working. That's number one. And the charger is working, 19.9 volts. All right, let's plug it in. And the charger is plugged in right here. And usually when the charger is plugged in, we should see lights right here. But I do not see anything on. I do not see any lights on, which is an indication that the computer is not receiving voltage. And as you can see, the plug is fully in. And we're gonna measure in voltage mode, black probe here. And we're gonna measure, do we have 19 volts here? Let's start with this. And look at that, we have 0 volts. So voltage is not even reaching the board. Do we have any voltage here? And we do not. Do we have any voltage here? And we do not. 0 volts. Wow. The problem is likely the connector. So what's the middleman between the board and the charger? It's the charging connector. Let's take a look under the microscope and see if we are able to see any issues with the charging connector. Oh, the charging connector is gone. The charging connector is bad. Look at this. Where's that plastic piece inside? Look at this. Now we can make this work if we spread those pins inside. Let's do that right now. It's hard to hold the laptop and do this at the same time, but all I want to do is spread those pins a bit. And that should work. Assuming that's the problem, and that's the only thing I see wrong with the laptop right now. Oh, right there. We do see the light now. Right here. So if we turn it on, yes, it's on. Wow, it's on. It's working. So right now, to recap, we did a couple of things. We injected voltage on to the shorted MOSFET. We noticed a bad cap. We replaced it. Still no power. We then realized that we had a bad MOSFET. Drain, source, and gate were shorting out on that MOSFET. We replaced the MOSFET and still no power. Then, inspecting the board now, we found out that we have a bad charging port. I modified the pins a bit and now we are able to turn this on, but we would have to change this port in order to give it back to the customer in a better than factory condition. Ashlyn, your laptop is fixed. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and we'll do something else in the next video.